بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. My brothers and sisters, tonight we find ourselves at the completion of the 5th chapter of the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Maaedah. And as our brother Sami mentioned yesterday, Surah Al-Maaedah has some of the last verses revealed in the Holy Quran. It was revealed very late in the Prophet ﷺ's life, most of it. And it also contains the last major legislation in Islam before his death ﷺ. And as the chapter starts, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَوْفُوا بِالْعُقُودِ, O you who believe, fulfill your trusts and your covenants and your pledges. And chief among these, as the surah tells us, are our trusts and our pledges to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the surah is not absent of our worldly context, and it also goes through many of our dealings as human beings and our responsibilities as members of families, as servants to Allah, as members of communities, as citizens of the world. And one of the incredible things about the surah is that it touches each of the major objectives of the Islamic Sharia. So the Islamic Sharia, as our scholars tell us, came to preserve deen, our way of life and religion. And the surah covers legislation and issues to protect people's practice and people's freedom to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Sharia came to preserve life and the sanctity of life and human blood. And the verse also covers that, including the famous verse that whomever takes a life, it's as if he has killed all of mankind, and whomever saves a life, it's as if he has saved all of mankind. And the verse, the Sharia also comes to preserve family, to preserve intellect and reason. And I'll speak about that more shortly as well, but the surah mentions that. And the Sharia comes to protect family and lineage and the sanctity of the human family. And the surah comes talking about marriage and lawful and unlawful relationships. And finally, the Sharia comes to protect wealth. And the surah comes with legislation on what is lawful from wealth, what is lawful from food, the penalty for thievery, and so on and so forth. I want to focus with you on some aspects of protection of religion and reason and intellect through the story that is the namesake of the surah, Surah Al-Maaedah. Al-Maaedah means the table spread. And this could be used to speak about a general Maaedah, a general table with food and sweets and wonderful food and drink. But that's not the Maaedah that's spoken about in this chapter. It's a special table spread that is linked with the story of Prophet Isa and his companions and the best of his followers, who are called Al-Hawariyin. And their story, we just recited it in these past 2 rak'ahs. It is covered in the last 2 pages of Surah Al-Maaedah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins with أَوْحَيْتُ إِلَى الْحَوَارِيِّينَ أَنْ آمِنُوا بِي وَبِرَسُولِي. And behold, when I inspired the Hawariyin, who are the companions of Jesus, peace be upon him, that you shall believe in me and in my messenger. Here, awhaytu is not like revelation to the messengers, but rather it means the tawfiq and the ability and the inspiration from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to follow guidance and be among the pious. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He says elsewhere in the Quran, those that earnestly strive towards us, we shall verily guide them to our paths. So here, أَوْحَيْتُ إِلَى الْحَوَارِيِّينَ means that these people strove and move towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but their efforts are not enough by themselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the inspiration and the ability to follow Jesus. But it is not and for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from this description, it's not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would select a people and leave a people haphazardly. قَالُوا آمَنَّا وَاشْهَدْ بِأَنَّنَا مُسْلِمُونَ. They said, we believe and bear witness that we are from those that submit ourselves wholly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the Hawariyun make an unusual request. And many of us passed by these verses and we don't fully understand what is the backstory of this request. إِذْ قَالَ الْحَوَارِيُّونَ يَا عِيسَى بْنَ مَرْيَمَ. Behold, when the Hawariyun said, O Jesus, son of Mary, هَلْ يَسْتَطِيعُ رَبُّكَ أَنْ يُنَزِّلَ عَلَيْنَا مَائِدَةً مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. Is your Lord able, literal translation, to bring down upon us a table spread from the heavens? When we read this, the language is shocking. Because the Hawariyin have already believed. So is the one who owns the heavens and the earth not able to send down to them what he wills from the heavens? Is the one who created them and created all the sustenance that they live on not able to send down what he wishes from the heavens? But as we go deeper into the Arabic language here, the meaning of what the Hawariyun are saying, they're not asking, is Allah capable? And so I kind of mistranslated it on purpose. Rather, it's that, will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descend this on them? Will He choose to give them this special verse? But the request itself catches us off guard. Because in the request, there is something of weakness of faith. There is something of weakness of faith. Because the basis is that we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power in al-ghayb. We know that He is all able, as we started Surah Al-Baqarah with. But they're making this special request, and you can see the response of Isa alayhi salam cautioning them from this gap in Iman. قَالَ اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. He said, be conscious of your Lord, have fear of your Lord, if you are from those that truly believe. So Isa cautioned them that this request for a special sign would be a cause for the demise of their faith. Then Al-Hawariyin explained a little bit about what the meaning of this request is. قَالُوا نُرِيدُ أَن نَأْكُلَ مِنْهَا. They said, we wish to eat of it. And the scholars here comment that it is likely that the Hawariyun were going through a period of hunger and difficulty due to the siege that they were experiencing. So it wasn't just, an armchair request, I want a special verse, but it was a request of need and of hunger and of difficulty. قَالُوا نُرِيدُ أَن نَأْكُلَ مِنْهَا وَتَطْمَئِنَّ قُلُوبُنَا. And that our hearts would become content and satisfied and tranquil. وَنَعْلَمَ أَنْ قَدْ صَدَقْتَنَا. And that we will know that you have been truthful to us, O Jesus. وَنَكُونَ عَلَيْهَا مِنَ الشَّاهِدِينَ. And we would be witnesses to this special event. Again, as we probe deeper into the language, here, تَطْمَئِنَّ قُلُوبُنَا doesn't mean that they don't have faith. But as Sheikh Muhammad Mitwalli al-Sha'rawi, may Allah have mercy on him, comments in his commentary on the Quran, he says that this request was so that they can go from ilm al-yaqeen, the knowledge of certainty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able and has this capacity, to ayn al-yaqeen, to the seeing with their own eyes of the special miracle. And the human being, as is captured elsewhere in the Holy Quran, the human being naturally is more affected by what he sees and touches, by al-mahsusat, by what they experience through their senses. And again, نَعْلَمَ أَنْ قَدْ صَدَقْتَنَا is again an affirmation that this would be a visual confirmation of the promise of Isa, of his truthfulness before the coming of the hour. Isa alayhi salam shows us the difference between the teacher of al-Iman and the students of al-Iman. Al-Hawariyun are good people. Al-Hawariyun
are God conscious. And they spoke based on their station and stature of faith before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Isa alayhi salam turns the request to a spiritual and uplifting one. قال عيسى بن مريم اللهم ربنا. Isa ibn Maryam said, O Allah, our Lord. So he started with two of the great encompassing names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma, which is a calling of Allah based on all of His names, those meanings together. And Rabbana, our cherisher, our sustainer, emphasizing the permanent need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أنزل علينا مائدة من السماء تكون لنا عيدا. Bring down on us a table spread from the heavens that would become a day of rejoice, a holiday and celebration for us. لأولنا وآخرنا, for the first of us and the last of us. وآية منك, and a sign from you. وارزقنا وأنت خير الرازقين, and provide for us, and you are the best of providers. Isa alayhi salam took the stomach and the hunger and tied it to the heart and the connection of the heart with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The food came, the sustenance came, the Maaedah came, but the difference is huge between the request of Isa and the request of Al-Hawariyun. So we see here the difference in their station before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered the dua of Isa. قال الله إني منزلها عليكم. But this was a unique sign and a special request, so it came with a consequence. فمن يكفر بعد منكم فإني أعذبه عذابا لا أعذبه أحدا من العالمين. So whomever rejects after this from you, I shall punish them a punishment that I have not punished anyone from the worlds. Because this would be an incredible miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala among the other signs that Isa ibn Maryam had. And from the Hawariyun were those that accepted, and from Bani Israel were from those that rejected after the Maaedah came, and the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala became lawful for them. I share this with you because we as the Ummah of Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to give us a special miracle. All of the prophets had miracles, but the prophets, most of their miracles died with their times, except the legacy that is kept for us in the Holy Quran, that we believe when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us these things, they happened with greater certainty than if we saw them with our eyes and heard them with our ears. But the Ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet ﷺ was also requested many times by Quraysh. Fill our lands with gold. Give us rivers. Give us this miracle and that miracle. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ could have asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for those miracles. But perhaps if he had asked them, those miracles would have died with his death. And the door of Tawbah may have been closed on us as it was closed on those that witnessed this special miracle of Al-Maaedah. But the Prophet ﷺ, among his many miracles, his greatest and overarching miracle is the miracle that you and I are blessed to sit through every night this Ramadan. The endless and timeless miraculous message of the Holy Quran. And through this choice of our Prophet ﷺ, the door of repentance stays open to us until the Day of Judgment. It is not closed on anyone who does not choose to close it upon themselves. So I invite you, as we live these miracles and as we live these Quranic examples, as we pass by Al-Maaedah, do not have the lower grade of Iman saying, where is my table spread? And where are the heavens that will open before me so that I can see this and believe? But elevate your stature in Iman and know that the greatest miracles of Allah are those that you search for in your personal life. Those that you feel Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala touching you with individually. As we covered last Jum'ah in Surah Al-Duha, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to mention some of His favors on the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When He could have mentioned the heavens and the earth and the crops and the sun, He said, أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى. Did He not find you an orphan and He gave you refuge? وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. And He found you lost and He guided you. وَوَجَدَكَ عَائِلًا فَأَغْنَى. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this Ramadan brings you closer to Him, cures you of illnesses, saves members of your family, works His miracles in your life, do not look for miracles in the heavens or somewhere else. Look for them individually with your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم.